How did Western medicine become what it is? When did it start focusing on medicating symptoms instead of healing the source of disease? How did Western medicine become what it is? When did it start focusing on medicating symptoms instead of healing the source of disease? For centuries, Western medicine has been the go-to for treating illnesses and diseases. From antibiotics to surgeries, it's hard to imagine life without these medical advancements. But have you ever stopped to wonder how Western medicine became what it is today? When did we start focusing on medicating symptoms instead of healing the source of disease? Join us as we take a journey through history and explore the rise of symptom-based medicine, the fall of holistic healing, and whether there's a better way forward. Get ready to challenge your understanding of modern medicine. A brief history of Western medicine. The history of Western medicine dates back to ancient Greece, where philosophers such as Hippocrates and Galen made significant contributions. These early physicians believed in the concept of humors, which stated that an imbalance of bodily fluids caused disease. During the Middle Ages, Christian monasteries became centers for medical knowledge and practice. However, superstition continued to play a role in medical practices during this time. In the 19th century, advancements in technology led to new discoveries and treatments. The development of anesthesia allowed for painless surgeries, while germ theory revolutionized our understanding of infectious diseases. Today, Western medicine is dominated by pharmaceuticals and surgical interventions. While these treatments have saved countless lives, they often focus on treating symptoms rather than addressing underlying causes. Despite its flaws, Western medicine continues to be the primary form of healthcare in many parts of the world. But with growing interest in holistic approaches to health and wellness, perhaps it's time we rethink our approach to healing and consider alternative forms of medicine. How did Western medicine become what it is today? Western medicine has come a long way since its inception. It is now considered one of the most advanced and sophisticated forms of medical care in the world. However, its evolution was not an easy process. The origins of Western medicine can be traced back to ancient Greece. The Greeks believed that illness was caused by natural causes rather than supernatural ones. They emphasized observation, diagnosis, and treatment based on scientific principles rather than religious beliefs. During the Middle Ages, Western medicine suffered a setback due to religious dogma and superstition. Medical knowledge was limited to what could be found in ancient texts such as those written by Hippocrates and Galen. It wasn't until the Renaissance that Western medicine began to evolve once again. This period marked the beginning of modern science and technology, which allowed for significant advancements in medical research. With new discoveries in anatomy, physiology, microbiology, pharmacology, and surgery, many diseases were cured or managed effectively with medication or surgical procedures. Today's healthcare system has evolved into a multi-billion-dollar industry where pharmaceutical companies are expected to provide cures for every ailment known to mankind, while hospitals focus on treating symptoms instead of curing patients from their root cause illnesses. The rise of symptom-based medicine. In the early 20th century, Western medicine began to shift its focus from holistic healing to symptom-based medicine. This approach aimed to alleviate symptoms through medication rather than addressing the root cause of disease. As advances were made in pharmacology and technology, doctors began relying more heavily on drugs and procedures instead of natural remedies and preventative care. Patients became less involved in their own health decisions as they looked to medical professionals for quick fixes. The rise of symptom-based medicine led to a more specialized approach where doctors focused on treating specific illnesses or conditions rather than taking a comprehensive view of overall health. This often resulted in patients receiving multiple medications with varying side effects that could complicate treatment plans. While this approach has certainly had some benefits, it has also contributed to an over-reliance on medication and neglect of lifestyle factors such as diet, exercise, and stress management. It's important for healthcare providers to strike a balance between addressing immediate symptoms while also working towards long-term solutions that promote overall well-being. The current state of Western medicine. The current state of Western medicine is heavily focused on treating symptoms rather than addressing the root cause of disease. The pharmaceutical industry plays a major role in this, with many doctors prescribing medication as the first line of treatment. While medications can be effective for managing symptoms, they often come with side effects and may not actually address the underlying issues. Additionally, there is a lack of emphasis on preventative care in Western medicine. Many people only seek medical attention when they are already sick or experiencing symptoms. This reactive approach to healthcare can lead to chronic diseases that could have been prevented through lifestyle changes and early intervention. Another issue within Western medicine is the cost. Medical treatments and procedures can be incredibly expensive, often leaving those without adequate insurance struggling to afford necessary care. Despite these challenges, there are still many dedicated healthcare providers working within the system who strive to provide holistic care for their patients. However, overall systemic change is needed in order to shift towards a more preventative and patient-centered approach to healthcare. The fall of holistic healing. Once upon a time, holistic healing was the norm. People would seek out natural remedies and treatments for their ailments, rather than relying on medications with potentially harmful side effects. But as Western medicine grew in popularity and influence, holistic healing began to fall by the wayside. One reason for this shift was the rise of scientific thinking. Many people believed that only what could be proven through research and experimentation was worth pursuing. This led to a dismissal of traditional practices like herbalism and acupuncture. Another factor was the increasing focus on profit over patient well-being in healthcare systems around the world. Holistic healing methods tend to prioritize prevention and overall wellness, which can be less profitable for businesses than symptom-based treatments that require ongoing medication or procedures. As Western medicine became more dominant, holistic healers were often discredited or even persecuted. The result is that many valuable ancient traditions have been lost or distorted beyond recognition. Despite this decline, there has recently been a resurgence of interest in alternative therapies among those seeking more natural approaches to healthcare. It remains to be seen whether these methods will once again become widely accepted as legitimate forms of treatment alongside conventional medicine. What are the consequences of this focus? The consequences of Western medicine's focus on medicating symptoms instead of healing the source of disease are numerous. One major consequence is that patients often end up taking multiple medications with unwanted side effects, rather than addressing the root cause of their health issues. Furthermore, this approach to medicine tends to view the body as a machine made up of separate parts that can be fixed individually. This narrow focus fails to take into account the interconnectedness and complexity of human biology. Another consequence is that Western medicine often overlooks alternative therapies and holistic approaches in favor of prescription drugs and surgical interventions. This limits patients' options for treatment and can lead to over-reliance on pharmaceuticals. This symptom-based approach contributes to a culture where quick fixes are valued over long-term lifestyle changes. Rather than promoting preventative measures like healthy diet and exercise, Western medicine tends to prioritize reactive solutions after problems have already developed. These consequences highlight the need for a more comprehensive approach to healthcare that values whole-body wellness over simply treating individual symptoms. Is there a better way? It's natural to question whether there is a better way than the current symptom-based approach in Western medicine. Many people are turning to alternative methods, such as acupuncture and herbal remedies, which focus on healing the whole person rather than just treating isolated symptoms. One potential solution is integrative medicine, which combines traditional Western medical practices with complementary therapies. This approach acknowledges that physical health is connected to mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. It also recognizes that prevention is key to maintaining good health. Another option is functional medicine, which seeks to identify and address the underlying causes of disease rather than simply treating symptoms. This involves a personalized approach based on each individual's unique genetic makeup, lifestyle factors, and environmental influences. Ultimately, it's up to each person to decide what type of healthcare they want for themselves. However, it's worth exploring all options available before making a decision. The re-emergence of holistic medicine. In recent years, there has been a resurgence of interest in holistic medicine. Holistic medicine is an approach that looks at the body as a whole and treats not just the symptoms but also the underlying cause of disease. This approach focuses on natural remedies and preventative measures rather than relying solely on medication. One reason for this re-emergence is dissatisfaction with traditional Western medicine's focus on treating symptoms instead of addressing the root cause of illness. People are starting to realize that simply medicating symptoms can lead to long-term health problems. Another reason for the shift towards holistic healing is increased awareness about alternative therapies like acupuncture, massage therapy, meditation, and yoga. These practices were once considered fringe or new age but have now gained mainstream acceptance due to their proven effectiveness in treating various ailments. Moreover, people are increasingly turning towards natural remedies such as herbal supplements and essential oils instead of synthetic drugs with potentially harmful side effects. They are recognizing that many pharmaceuticals only mask symptoms temporarily while causing other issues in different parts of their bodies. It's clear that there is growing interest in holistic healthcare approaches because they offer a more comprehensive way to stay healthy naturally without resorting to medications with negative consequences later down the road. Conclusion: Western medicine has come a long way since its inception. Over the years, we have seen a shift from holistic healing to symptom-based treatments. While this approach has successfully treated many ailments and diseases, it has also led to an over-reliance on medication and neglect of preventative measures. However, there is hope for change. Many medical professionals are now looking towards more holistic approaches that focus on treating the whole person rather than just their symptoms. By combining modern medicine with natural remedies and alternative therapies, they hope to provide patients with comprehensive care that promotes wellness instead of just fighting illness. As consumers, we can also do our part by seeking out healthcare providers who prioritize preventative care and addressing underlying causes of disease rather than simply medicating symptoms. By embracing a more balanced approach to health and wellness, we can all work together towards creating a healthier future for ourselves and generations to come.